My best friend sabotaged my wedding, and my guests applauded her for it. My maid of honor Bianca destroyed my $3,000 wedding cake right as I reached for the knife to cut it. She came out of nowhere, grabbed the silver cake server, and absolutely demolished all 5 tiers in seconds. Frosting flew everywhere. The sugar flowers exploded. The top tier with our custom topper rolled across the floor. 200 guests just stood there with their mouths open. I collapsed in my wedding dress, and my knees hit the marble floor so hard I felt the impact in my teeth. I couldn't breathe properly or form a single thought. All I could do was stare at the wreckage of our cake bleeding raspberry filling across white marble. No, 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 this isn't happening. I kept repeating the same words over and over like a broken record. Maybe if I said it enough times we could somehow rewind the last 30 seconds. But Bianca just stood there without offering any explanation. She wasn't apologizing or crying or showing any remorse at all. She was gripping that cake server like she might use it again. Her bridesmaid dress was destroyed with buttercream and filling. She looked at me with an expression I'd never seen in 23 years of friendship. Part of me couldn't even believe this was my best friend since 2nd grade. The girl who knew my coffee order at every single coffee shop in town, who'd spent 3 months helping me pick this exact dress, who'd been at every single appointment, every tasting, every breakdown when the flowers were wrong. My mother-in-law's scream that could have shattered every window in the building brought me back to reality. $3,000. That cake was $3,000. What have you done? The photographer was still taking pictures of the disaster. I could hear his camera shutter clicking away rapidly. Every click captured another angle of the worst moment of my life. 200 guests remained frozen in complete silence around us. Nobody moved toward us, and nobody tried to help. They just stared at the scene like we were some kind of tragic performance. Security came rushing from 3 different directions with their radios crackling. They were calling for backup like Bianca was some kind of actual criminal. She had just destroyed the centerpiece of our reception with her bare hands. Mason released me gently and moved toward her. I could see he was trying his best to control his anger. His voice came out deadly quiet and measured. Get out right now before I call the police and have you arrested. I felt like I was going to throw up in front of everyone. The humiliation was absolutely suffocating me. This wedding was supposed to be perfect in every way. I had planned every single detail for 18 months straight. The preparation included countless spreadsheets and vendor meetings and tastings and fittings. The cake alone had required 6 separate consultations with our baker Raphael. Bianca pushed past the security guards and marched straight to the DJ booth. She grabbed the microphone from the stand and connected her phone to the sound system. Everyone needs to hear this before you throw me out. Her voice echoed through the ballroom speakers. She cranked the volume to maximum and hit play on a recording. Our baker's voice filled the room with devastating clarity. His French accent made his cruel words sound almost elegant. Another bride with her pretend allergies. They all want to be special and create unnecessary drama. This one brings medical papers and doctor's notes. She acts like I'm running a pharmacy instead of a bakery. My stomach dropped to the floor as the recording continued. But she has documented severe peanut allergy. A nervous younger voice interjected. Raphael laughed dismissively on the recording. These entitled brides and their imaginary allergies disgust me. You know what I think about food allergies? They're a modern invention for attention seekers. I use peanut flour in my signature recipe because it creates the perfect texture. 20 years and not one actual reaction proves my point. They're all lying for special treatment. Bianca pulled out my EpiPen from her clutch and held it high. Her throat closes in 3 minutes maximum. Raphael stepped forward with his hands raised defensively. This is taken out of context. You don't understand professional baking. Mason moved toward him with deadly calm. Explain the context of trying to kill my wife. These allergies are psychological. I've proven it for 20 years. Raphael's accent thickened as he panicked. My mother-in-law grabbed a champagne bottle from a nearby table. You poisoned the cake knowing she could die. Raphael backed against the wall as more guests surrounded him. No one has ever had a real reaction. They imagine symptoms. Bianca held up her phone again. I have 3 more recordings of you saying you don't care if someone dies because you'll blame the venue. Should I play those too? His face went white. He tried to push past the crowd, but Mason's groomsmen blocked every exit. A guest who was an ER doctor stepped forward. I pronounced people dead from anaphylaxis. You would have murdered her for your ego. Raphael finally broke and started shouting in French before security dragged him out. He kept screaming that we were all crazy and allergies were fake, even as they shoved him into a police car outside. Raphael lost his license after that.